This is the TBWZ Power Hour for Monday, March 30th, 2026. You are listening to TBWZ. Of course, there's no better place to start this show than UConn upsetting Duke in the Elite Eight, in which is, and by far, the game of the tournament, the shot of the tournament. It's the moment of March. The Huskies have it, man. They hold the crown of the moment of March. It's the biggest shot in the school's history. It's one of the biggest shots in Jon Scheyer's history at Duke and Dan Hurley's history at UConn. As UConn takes down Duke and we crown Braylon Mullins, our certified white boy of the dance. Come on now, brother. After the kid, if you remember, the kid missed the free throw. And UConn was down 19 at one point in this game. I was driving home, watching this game on my phone, hoping that I would get home in time for a basketball game to actually happen. Right when I walk in, they kind of cut the lead down to 12 from 19 in the second half. And I was like, okay, we got an opportunity here to have a game. And boy, oh boy, did we finish with an absolute awesome game. End of the game, UConn's down 3. They've got 2 free throws. 10 seconds left on the clock. The kid misses the first free throw. The kid missed the first free throw right off the bat. My mom and dad, I was watching them with them, and my mom was like, should he miss the second free throw on purpose? Because mom knows ball, and mom knows that that's a part of the game. It was like, hey, if you miss the first one, maybe you miss the second one on purpose so you get that action. I said to her, make it, foul right away. Make it, foul right away, you're going to play this game. And you're going to hopefully get a shot at the very end of the game with 2 seconds left for 3, and hopefully you could take it. The kid makes the free throw. So we still have 10 seconds on the clock as he makes the free throw. Duke had to advance the ball. I want to just stop right there real fast. A lot of people this morning, I'm hearing all over the internet and the interwebs because I hear everything. End of top 4. Moving into the bottom half of the 4th inning. Royals up 2-1 still. They had to advance the ball. So UConn had the possession arrow. UConn had the possession arrow. So if at any moment they trap, which they obviously were going to in that situation, down 2 with 10 seconds left in the game, UConn goes for a trap. If they get a jump ball, they get possession of the ball in their own half court. So Duke did have to advance the ball, okay? There was also 10 seconds on the clock, meaning that the 8-second violation was in play. So UConn had 2 options. They could have trapped, resulting in either a jump ball, which means they get the ball back because they had the possession arrow, or they get an 8-second violation. They get the ball back in their half of the court with 2 seconds left on the clock. For that reason, Jon Scheyer and the Duke Blue Devils are trying to advance the ball over the half court line and pass the ball around. They couldn't just sit there and be like, I'm not going to do anything, try to foul me, because that wasn't the game that UConn was going to play. UConn was going for the ball and the jump ball specifically. In that situation with 10 seconds left on the clock, they had to advance the ball. A bunch of people right now are talking about, Jon Scheyer messed up. I don't know why they advanced the ball. It's clear and obvious as to why that team had to do that. The execution, though, was poorly done. Obviously, there was a steal with about 5 seconds left in the game by the man himself, Braylon Mullins. And then ultimately, he gets the ball back with 2 seconds left on the clock, puts up the 3, and hits the biggest shot in his life, in his existence. He will now be remembered forever. He essentially immortalized himself with that shot. Amongst UConn people, amongst basketball enjoyers, amongst Duke fans. Oh boy, first and F most. What the heck? What the crap just happened? Dude, Toasted AU, follow, Toasted Gold. Hey, Toasted, what up, dog? Thank you for joining the show. We are talking BALL, capital ball. As elated as I am for UConn, right? And the reaction that I had after that, I was basically narrating out loud, and I was just calling it. I'm like, you got to foul, you got to foul, you got to foul, you got to foul. Oh, steal, shoot it. Ah! That was basically the sequence of events. And I have a feeling that was the sequence of events for lots of houses across America. You got to foul, you got to foul, you got to foul. Oh, they got to steal. Hit it. Ah! My mom screamed so loud she got a headache. My dog was freaked out. He ran into the other room. No one has action on this game. No one has money on it. Everyone's bracket is busted in my house. There's no reason to scream except, gosh dang it, man. That's what sports do to us. That is what they do, bro. I'm so sick of the gambling stuff because you don't need that to have a good time, to be moved off of your feet. All you need is the craziest buzzer beater you've ever seen in your entire life to get off your couch and scream at the top of your lungs. The one thing I keep thinking about with this game in particular, this is crazy, but Caden Boozer and Cameron Boozer are twins. They were born on July 18th, 2007. I was born on July 18th, 96. These guys are, I share a birthday with these guys. And I also share a birthday with my friend Jonah. And me and Jonah, every time we see each other, even though it's every like 2 or 3 years at this point, we're so tight right away because we have the same birthday. There's a connection that you have with someone born on your birthday. So I've been talking mad crap on Cam Boozer, but guys, I can't do anything about it. I have a connection with the Boozer brothers. Me and the Boozer brothers are connected at the hip. I don't believe in astrology or astronomy, or I believe in astronomy. All the astrology stuff is kind of whatever. That's out of my lane. But I do respect it, and I think it's kind of interesting. And planets, gravity, whatever. But I share a birthday with these guys. As elated as I am for the kids at UConn, and for the fans on that side, and for the people that call that their alma mater, I am just devastated for the kids at Duke. When I was 18 years old, I was making just the worst decisions left and right. I was being full-blown retarded. Like, with everything I did in life. Oh, here's an awesome girl that cares about me and is really, really kind. I can't do it. Let's break up. I was more concerned about smoking pot when I was 18 than anything else in my life. And like finishing school and trying to get to school and all of that kind of stuff. I look back at my decision-making and my emotions and my mental health at that age. Man, being 18, you don't have all of the tools in the toolbox quite yet in your brain. You don't have everything that you need to navigate life at the age of 18. So these kids that are losing these insane basketball games that they're never going to forget ever again, my heart goes out to them. So I feel bad for the Duke kids that played on that court. Every single other Duke fan in the entire United States, that's me laughing at you. It's hilarious. It's like Duke, the Yankees, the Cowboys, probably the Celtics for me, but the Lakers for everybody else. If you're a fan of those teams, dude, get out of here. Get right out. The Duke fans are so funny. If you were born in North Carolina and you were born in that area and you have family that went to Duke and you grew up going to games your entire life and that's just ingrained into your culture, awesome, dude. If you live anywhere else in America, get out of here. You're a loser if you root for Duke. I am heartbroken for the players that were on that team that gave the entire season, bro. That gave all they had to that game and to that team to come up short at the very moment like that. Brother, my heart goes out to you. To all the Duke fans out there in America, LMAO. Teams trailing by 15 to a 1 seed at halftime in the NCAA tournament. So that's the stat we're doing right now. So you're down 15 to a 1 seed at halftime. Of all of the instances that has happened since 1979 when we started doing this thing, teams that are down 15 at halftime to a number 1 seed were 0 and 134 before yesterday. They are now 1 and 134. It's the last shot of the regional tournament. And it's a shot to send a team to the Final Four. And in a moment, it's a moment that you will always remember exactly where you were and what you were doing for that shot, for that moment. Straight up, between you and me, the NCAA tournament has kind of sucked. It hasn't been that great. We had a really good Iowa and Florida game. Santa Clara to Kentucky was a banger. St. Louis's first game out with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was sick, bro. Very, very, very cool. Tennessee made a run against Iowa State that nobody cared about. Darius Acuff was going off in a losing effort. It wasn't like, we weren't looking at this tournament as like, dude, oh, bro, this tournament rules. Gonzaga went down early. Yeah. There was not a moment this tournament had until last night, until the last shot of the regionals before the Final Fours. We waited the whole tournament, and we watched through the entire thing to get to that moment, and we got to it, brother. It was not a great tournament so far, but brother, what an end to the regionals. Dan Hurley this is his third season going to the Final Four in the last 4 seasons. So three of the last 4 seasons, Dan Hurley finds himself in the Final Four. Man, I'm so glad the Lakers didn't hire Dan Hurley. Dude, I'm so excited we have JJ Redick instead of Dan Hurley. And it's not even like I'm sitting here like JJ Redick is the best coach in the NBA. I've been obsessed with some of the plays that he's calling out of timeouts. Oh, dude, some of the plays that he's drawing up out of timeouts are the best in the league. He has been unbelievable. He's been so good. I like where the rotations are at. I like the way that he handles the team and the psyche and the emotion. I love where JJ Redick's at right now as the Lakers head coach. This is more of an indictment on Dan Hurley. Brother, that guy's a freak. I'm so glad he's not a Lakers player or a Lakers coach. Could you imagine him yelling and screaming at LeBron James, telling him what to do? It just doesn't work. Brother, you're bald. Brother, you're coming from college and you're bald. You didn't play in this league. Maybe you did. I don't know. The Lakers just dodged a bullet by not grabbing Dan Hurley because that was the whole thing. They're offering him apparently a 10-year deal. Sometimes you fail upwards. Sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. I bet the Lakers front office was so mad when he went back to UConn. I know a lot of fans were too when Dan Hurley was like, nah, I'm going to go back to UConn. We're like, how dare you use us as leverage? You piece of crap. You butt wipe. How dare? Dan Hurley using the Lakers as leverage. Ha! Scoff. I scoff at you. And now today I'm just so excited that he's not our head coach. Dude, X's and O's, brother, that guy is awesome. Give that man his flowers. He is awesome. He will never, ever be anything in the NBA because he's just too much of a freak. Only college kids will listen to that man. You try to scream and yell at a $30 million a year professional athlete. That's a low-end NBA player, by the way. Telling him to get back on defense. It just wouldn't work. Dan Hurley, though. 3 of the past 4 years going to the Final Four. I mean, we're growing up and seeing right now, post Coach K, post Coach Roy, post Jim Boeheim. Post these like insane college coaches. Dan Hurley is now up there, and the youth right now are probably going to remember Dan Hurley as maybe the greatest coach in the NCAA history if he finishes and continues the way that he's going right now. On the other end is John Shire. John Shire, man, the head coach at Duke. Kansas City gave up a run to the Twins. It's now 1-2-4. John Shire's 1-24 and 27. So, in the 4 seasons that John Shire has been at Duke, taking over for Coach K, John Shire's 1-24 and 27. He's gone to 3 straight Elite 8 appearances. He has 1 Final Four appearance, back-to-back 30-plus win seasons, and 3 ACC tournament titles in his 4 years at Duke after taking over for Coach K. The man has done nothing but win at Duke, and he's looked good doing it. The teams have been great. This was a team that last year had Cooper Flagg and Con Knippel, and now both those guys are balling out in the NBA. He doesn't have these super seniors sticking around. He doesn't have age. He has youth. He has vitality. He has recruiting down, bro. He has recruiting down. John Shire's been unbelievable at Duke, but all I can remember are the past 2 seasons, them choking away victory to end their season. 2 years in a row, they've blown double-digit leads. In 2 years in a row, 2 years in a row now, they've blown double-digit second-half leads to end their season. You put all the dominance in a box on one end. You put all of the wins and the awesome recruiting and the ACC titles and the 30-plus win seasons. You put all the good in a box. And then on the other end, your last 2 seasons ended by choking away double-digit leads in the second half. America's going to reach into the choke box first and foremost. I think John Shire's an awesome coach, dude. I think he is great. But ultimately, he is right now being remembered by these choke jobs and not by the success, which is inherently like unfair by us. By us, the fans, the media, all the people talking about it, it's so unfair to be like, that guy stinks. He's a choker. What he is an incredible coach who's very, very, very young in his career. This is year 4. This is a job at Duke that you do not quit, right? He's not in any position to get fired to. We could be looking at Jon Scheyer as the next head coach at Duke for the next 20 years. And we're harping on him for the past 2 seasons when we have no idea what the next 20 years could be. But ultimately, I don't blame people. I was having a take earlier this month about how Jon Scheyer is what he's done at Duke, taking over for Coach K, doing one of the hardest things possible, taking over for the Hall of Famer. And having success, that is so not easy, and he's navigated it so well. But at the same time, these chokes are real at the end of the season. What's good, Oreo? 2K views right now, on track to be my best one yet. Let's go, XD. Shout out to you guys. If you don't watch, guys, if you don't follow TBWZ Clips on TikTok, that is XD's clip account, and he is booming right now with a boomer video. So go check him out. Not to be outshined by Duke and by UConn, we had Michigan, Illinois, and Arizona all looking truly, truly dominant on their way to the Final Four. Michigan won by 33 points yesterday in an Elite 8 game. That is the most a team has won in an Elite 8 game. Most team has won by in an Elite 8 game since 1989. Oh, boy. Yeah, Michigan dominated Tennessee. I wish Iowa State would just have won the game for reasons that are personal. But Tennessee looked horrible in that game. And I think it was less Tennessee and just more like, bro, this Michigan team is unbelievable. They're averaging 95.3 points per game in the tournament, which is just actually like so absurd. 95.3 points per game in the NCAA tournament. I know Arizona's good, right? And Michigan and Arizona play on Saturday night, 5:50 p.m. So that means it'll be probably 6:05 p.m. I know Arizona's really good. Cole Pete was very, very impressive. Cole Pete was a guy that I was not very impressed with throughout the entire tournament. And now I'm sitting here after this game against that they just played against Purdue. Cole Pete's a darn good basketball player. Darn good basketball player. He looked great against Arkansas. He looked great in the Elite 8. He's very, very good. But Michigan just feels inevitable at this point. Michigan is so good at basketball, dude. They're so tall. They're so big. They're so fast. They have 6 dudes on the floor that can put up 20 plus. They're hard to score on, and their offense is averaging 95.3 points per game in the NCAA tournament. OMG. It's crazy, dude. Mullins rose to number 7 on my mock. Oreo, smart, dude. Braylon Mullins, white boy of the dance, certified. Double play just got turned on Bobby Witt. End of the 5th inning. It's now 1-2 Kansas City. I got completely mistaken by the final score. I think I saw the game from last night, so it's still 1-2 in Kansas City. The one thing that I love about this tournament in particular, I feel like we have our best 4 teams left. I feel like the 4 teams that we have are the best left. You can make a case for, obviously, Duke. You can make a case even for Michigan State and St. John's. I think both of those teams were very, very good and could have potentially gone to the Final Four. But it feels like right now we do have our best 4 teams left in the dance. Those teams had limits. These teams right now do not have limits. We're going to be taking phone calls at around 3 p.m. or 3:05 p.m. So in about 30 minutes, we'll be taking phone calls. Unless you chat in and tell me what you want to talk about, and if it lines up with what I'm talking about, I can give you 3 minutes. To whoever's calling in, but I love you, I think. I'm very excited for the Final Four. We've got 4 teams left in it. We're going to have Illinois versus UConn and then Michigan versus Arizona. The Michigan-Arizona game is much watch television. You have to be there for it. Bryce James, MVP of the tournament, only reason Arizona has made it this far is because of the Bryce James aura. Because the LeBron James aura is rubbing off on my guy. And that is important. That is important. Thank you, XD, for acknowledging that. It's funny, Bronny went to USC to be like, I want to go to USC. I want to stay in Southern California. I want to be like by my family or whatever, which was cool. That was a good move. USC stinks at basketball. Bronny also didn't play at USC and then somehow got drafted and is now apparently looking for a $45 million extension. I swear, and I don't even cuss, but I swear, if the Lakers sign Bronny James to an extension and we trade away LeBron and just have Bronny, I am going to do something so horrible and diabolical, like so bad. I'm going to replace people's breath mints with like, do you know when you go to the pool or you have a pool, like the chlorine discs that are in that weird thing that's floating? I'm going to poison people. I'm going to poison somebody. I would probably try to shoot high and like poison a county, like a whole county of people. I'd probably go to Central California though, like Monrovia County or Visalia. We can get Visalia out of here. Have you ever been to Stockton, brother? It's not a thing we need. The middle of California is hell on earth. It's a desert, first of all. It's so hot. The Central Valley, obviously, when you get into the Sierra Nevadas, it's gorgeous. But I'm talking, you know what part of California I'm talking about? The middle of California stinks. Lancaster, get out of here. Palmdale, I might move there. It's unimportant. It doesn't matter. I don't even know why I was talking about it. But yeah, shout out to Monrovia. The Power Hour continues on as we talk a little bit about baseball. The Angels are 2-2 to start the season. On Mondays, I'm going to be doing MLB Clubhouse, and I'm going to show you what that is in just a moment. But also on Power Hours, I am going to be covering my local teams, which is the Angels, the Chargers, and the Lakers. So I will be covering all of my local teams in the Power Hours. So Angels, 2-2 to start the season. Started the season with 2 wins. Mike Trout looks absolutely fire. Came back to earth on the end of the weekend with a terrible showing from Urania out of the bullpen after Reed Detmers could not finish the 5th inning in Game 3. And then Coach Nowick's getting absolutely shelled in Game 4 for the Angels. So Angels seem to be back to mid-season form as the Spanish Viking. My name is Jose Carlos Paleo, and I am calling about March Madness in life. Jose, I'm going to be doing the Power Hour, and then at 3, you could call in, brother, to have some hijinks. But if you want to do hijinks, bro, which our calls are very, very fun, the best would be the last hour of the show. So 5 to 6 p.m. in that range would be the absolute best for hijinks, personally. MLB storylines from week 1 of the MLB. The Brewers, the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Dodgers have all started the season 3-0, unsurprisingly. But OMG, wait, so did the Miami Marlins. Oh, the Marlins are also 3-0. The other teams, obviously Blue Jays, Brewers, Yankees, Dodgers, those were like the 4 teams left at the end of the season. So the teams that were in the postseason last year are obviously off to a great start. And along with the Marlins, who swept, the Rockies, who truly looked to be an abysmal team. Getting swept by the Marlins are a decent ball club. They're not the worst. They're going to be between a 20 and a 10 range in wins, run production, all of that crap. They have a good staff. Yuri Perez, maybe great. Sandy Alcantara, can you get it back? The Rockies getting swept by the Marlins is so wholly embarrassing. Them, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Athletics, and the White Sox all continue to search for their first win of the season as those teams remain completely defeated. Mike Trout, Brandon Donovan, Shea Langoliers, Christian Yelich, Brandon Lowe, shout out to you. You are Veenie's 5 stars of week 1 in the MLB. They've been off to a very hot start. But there are some newcomers coming along the way that I want you to keep your eye on these guys for this season. They're off to a hot start, and I think it could very, very, very well be sustained. Sal Stewart, first baseman for Cincinnati. He's just in a good spot in the lineup. If Ellie De La Cruz, Eugenio Suarez, Matt McClain, and Sal Frelick are all above him, and those guys are going to get on base. Eugenio not as much, but he's going to walk a lot, and he's going to hit a lot of home runs. Sal Stewart, first baseman for Cincinnati, is going to have some great opportunities to bat, and he's already off to a great start. And Chase DeLautner, right fielder for Cleveland. Chase DeLautner, this guy is off to a tear. He has been awesome to start the year. Stewart, of course, from Cincinnati, he's 7 for 10 with 3 walks and no strikeouts. 4 of his 7 base hits have gone for extra bases. He has 4 doubles on the year. So 3 walks, no Ks so far. Chase Lautner is a little bit different. He has 4 home runs already on his 17 at-bats for Cleveland. He is more of a home run, strikeout kind of guy, but boy, oh boy, is he hitting the ball well. Chico, yeah. Trust in Skeens, maybe. Oh, wow. Jose is potentially switching schools. This would be very, very big news for us. Connor Griffin gonna get called up and cook. Yeah, Connor Griffin is a great baseball player. We're excited to see him for the Pirates. Okay, we're gonna do the clubhouse leaders right now. The TBWZ MLB Clubhouse leaders. Can I get a what? So I'm gonna be covering a few categories. The categories for pitchers are strikeouts, ERA, opponent's batting average, and saves. Right now, it's too early for ERA, opponent average, and saves because we only played like 4 games. But the strikeout leaders right now, Dylan Cease of Toronto with 12 Ks in his first outing. Kevin Gossman also of Toronto with 11 Ks in his first outing. Toronto's staff looks fantastic as Toronto is 3-0 to start the year. And Jacob Mizorowski, Milwaukee, he has 11 Ks as well. Home run leaders, Chase DeLautner from Cleveland with 4 home runs. Then we have Langoliers, Brandon Lowe, Murakami. This Murakami is quite the sight to see. We have a Japanese star brewing in Chicago. Not on the Cubs, on the White Sox. His name is Murakami, and he is absolutely balling, along with Luke Raley from Seattle. All of those guys have 3 home runs. Those are our home run leaders right now in the season. Stolen bases, there's a pinch runner, third baseman type for Milwaukee that already has 3 stolen bases, David Hamilton. 10 guys on this list have 2. The strikeout leaders, I also want to know who's striking out the most. Jesus Manzardo and Cal Raleigh both have 10, and Josh Lowe of the Angels has 9. That is the MLB Clubhouse. Oh. That was fun. Of course, the NBA is kicking off, and the NBA season, brother, we have about 2 weeks left of basketball in the NBA before the postseason starts. And as you guys know on this show, we are going to be doing live post-game shows for every single NBA postseason night. We're going to try this thing out where I'm going to be going live from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time, 10-ish, maybe 10:30, 11 if the calls are cooking. And I'm going to open up the phone lines starting at 9 right away. And we're going to go over storylines from the day, who won, who lost, biggest winners, biggest losers, series shakeout, series previews, tomorrow's games, all of that stuff after the games on that respective day. So 9 p.m. on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok. 9 p.m. Pacific, I'll be going live every single night, starting when the playoffs start. And I'm going to start it with the play-in tournament, which I believe begins a week from Wednesday. Derrick Rose begging that Wemby don't win. Absolutely. Wemby number 1 in MVP? Nah, not me. I have my MVPs. So later today, I have MVPs and I have my top 10 in the NBA. We'll get to those in a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to be doing my top 5 MVPs, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 NBA teams as the show goes on. But since we have Tony Casillas joining us at the quarter till mark, and we have about 7 minutes until then, I figured it might be good to check on the Association of Football with some breaking news. The NFL owners meetings were this week, and we get the epic NFL owners picture. I don't know if we have it just yet, but it is a tradition unlike any other. Big Cat of Barstool Sports always does a blog around the owner's picture, but the owner's picture, it is one of the best things that we have. We do not have the official one yet, but we do have this from Mike Garofalo. Isn't it beautiful? It's always so beautiful just to see all of the coaches. They do this every year, all 32 coaches. It's good to see Mike McCarthy back in this picture getting frame-mogged by Dave Canellis. Hardcore mode. Liam Cohen looks like an absolute goofball. Aaron Glenn will not be in this picture next year. D'Amico Ryan's looking strong, but the nipples are poking. Mike Vrabel forgot socks. Sean Payton forgot pants. Mike McDonald wearing a t-shirt. Who is this? Who is this? Dan Campbell wore the craziest fit of all time. The collar's looking so clean. Is this a short sleeve collared Henley? Ralph Lauren? Everyone wore blue. Listen, NFL coaches, I'm not sitting here like, dude, you have to look hot. I prefer my coach to look hot, but whatever. That's not up to me all the time. Hey, at least be a little bit original like Andy Reid. Look at this shirt Andy Reid is wearing. And he's got the Chiefs logo on it too. Unbelievable stuff. Matt LaFleur looks like he doesn't want to go to Melbourne so bad for his stupid game. Joe Brady also forgot socks, wearing the Louis Vuitton sneakers, rocking the rollie on his wrist. Thought this was going to be a lot more fun than it actually is. Realized, OMG, there's so much pressure on me at this moment right now. Stefanski, rocking blue, should have been wearing red. New Falcon. Robert Salah with the hoodie. I wouldn't want Robert Salah wearing anything other than a hoodie. This is what this man wears. This guy's ready for football. Hey, the Titans right now, in my book, 7-win season. He's also looking jacked, but Dan Quinn will not be framed mugged by another bald, jacked man. Dan Quinn looking good in his black on black outfit. Is he wearing shorts? No, he's wearing pants. Good man, good man. Who else on here is looking funny? John Harbaugh did not sit next to his brother for whatever reason, but he did sport a Band-Aid on his arm. Maybe it's a tattoo. If it was a tattoo, it'd probably be a Justin Herbert. It'd probably just be Herbert. Who the heck is this fool? He's wearing the penny loafers with the white ankle socks. This is an absolutely horrible fit. I'm still shocked Mike Vrabel didn't wear socks. I'm embarrassed. I'm shocked on so many different levels that Mike Vrabel did not wear socks. And Liam Cohen cannot stop looking like such a goofball in this picture. Matt LaFleur looks like a dork. This guy next to him looks like the biggest twink in the world. Who is this twink? Is this the guy? This is the dude for that got hired from the Rams. This is LaFleur. Wait, this is LaFleur and LaFleur. Are these the LaFleur brothers? Jose, it'd be really nice if you wait till 5 for the hijinks. But yes, after my first break, phone calls will be open. Phone calls will be open after the first break. I mean, and then Nick Sirianni, just to finish it off. Somehow Nick Sirianni has the biggest arms in this picture, the strangest top belly in the world going on. His whole gut is up top. He's got he's kind of snatched. I'm not going to lie. This is a horrible pattern shirt. Nick Sirianni should never be wearing patterns at all. Dude, his legs are so strong. Dude, if you asked Nick Sirianni to help you move, he'd do everything for you. Except tape the boxes. There's a woman to do that. Kyle Shanahan, Kevin Stefanski, Joe Brady, LaFleur, this doofus, Zach Taylor. These guys are all dressed well. These guys are all dressed fine. Sean Payton looks like he's just getting back from the beach, bro. Dude, don't wear light blue shoes. You're a child. Unless you're wearing the Heather Royal Jordan 1 high OGs. Oh my gosh, those are my favorite shoe of all time. Oh wait, is this John Harbaugh? Wait, this is John Harbaugh. Dude, he looks horrible. No offense, Harbs, but he's getting blocked by a C-stand. John Harbaugh getting blocked by a C-stand. Wearing black loafers with white ankle socks. Hey, this outfit sucks. These guys are all such dorks. They're all so white, but all very, very tan. You can tell they all went on vacation. If I had to pick someone to win the Super Bowl based off just this photo alone, let's see. Dude, I mean, give me Dave Canellis any single day of the week. That guy is hot. Mike McCarthy trying so hard to not be in this photo. He's like an inch further away than everybody. The owner meetings have happened. We have news on A.J. Brown. We have some George Pickens stuff. Aaron Rodgers, of course. But the biggest story out of the NFL is the NFL and the National Football League Referees Association are in contract negotiations, and the negotiations are going very, very, very poorly. Essentially, what we have going on right now is a standstill between the two, between the NFL and the, oh my gosh, holy crap, between the NFL and the NFLRA, which I didn't know it was called that, but here we are. There's discrepancies right now between the referees thinking that they should be getting more money and what they really, really, really want to be paid for and compensated for is this idea that they do not get paid during the offseason. So they're only getting money based off working during the season. And they essentially, from what I've gathered, want to be at a position right now where they can make money during the offseason. So they're not just simply relying on that. Because right now, a lot of these guys work second jobs and they work in other locations. And that is not something that this organization, the referees want. What they want more than anything is they want to be paid fairly, and they want to be paid year-round for their services as a referee. Completely understandable. The only part that is crazy right now, and the part that we should slightly be concerned about, Kevin Seifert and Kalen Collar from the NFL, for ESPN, have been reporting that the negotiations are going horribly. So bad, in fact, a decision is due at the end of May, essentially. But the negotiations are going so bad between the NFL and the referees that they have begun hiring replacement referees already to train these guys up. Some of you might be a little bit too young for this. The last time we had replacement referees, we had what was called the Fail Mary. It was between the Packers and the Seahawks. Essentially, at the end of the game, Russell Wilson throws a Hail Mary into the end of the end zone. It's caught kind of by both guys. It was kind of the craziest play ever. And one ref said touchdown, and the other ref said incomplete. And it was what was known then as the Fail Mary and now known as one of the biggest blights in NFL referee history. Those were replacement refs. One of the reasons those refs were so bad, and yeah, we're going to do ref talk today. One of the reasons that those refs were so bad is they did not have a ton of time to train. They were not training for the NFL, for refereeing in the NFL, as long as they should have been. The NFL is preemptively hiring replacement refs right now because, one, they think that the negotiations are not going to be ending anytime soon. Two, last time they did this, it was so bad that they were like, hey, let's do this a lot earlier now. Let's do this a lot earlier so we don't have to worry about hiring guys way late in the season and trying to train them up. Do I think that the replacement refs are going to be good? Absolutely not. But do I think that the referees already that we have are good? I do. I know you're expecting me to zig there. I zagged, baby. I'm Veenie. Shedeur changes number to 2. Well, you need to let me know. That's Shedeur Sanders has changed his number to 2. Was he 12 before? Was he not? Was he not 2? XD, was he not 2? XD1, your username is looking awesome. Spanish Viking Diego is from Colombia. I'm Spanish Colombian. Okay. Yes. Carlos Jose. You have an interesting life. My bracket is done. Andres, I know, Andres. Iowa State lost. He was 12. I'm 12. I wish I was 12. Speaking of 12, you're going to notice this season, if we do have these replacement refs, and we do have them for regular season games in the NFL, you're going to notice just how good the actual referees are if we do have these replacement guys. Because replacement guys have never, ever been good. I don't think we're going to have a situation where we're like, hey, these guys absolutely rock. There's nothing wrong with them at all. They're completely fine. They do their thing, we do our thing, we call it a day. Sorry. AJ Brown. So Howie Roseman, like I said, the owners' meetings are going on. So all the coaches, all the GMs, all the owners are together right now. I think in Florida is where they do it. In Destin, maybe. and they all get together and they talk shop and they gossip and they bring up new rules. Like the Browns were trying to propose that you could trade first-round picks 5 years in advance. Just basically trying their absolute hardest to be a tanking team, to be a poor franchise. Like, hey, we're not good enough to do this thing regular. We need 3 extra years. As the women in Kansas City right now who are singing the national anthem are wearing t-shirts that say choose love. Imagine not choosing love. Imagine being like, no, I choose hate. I would never. Howard Roseman was quoted. He basically did this press conference and said, hey, guys, chill the crap out about A.J. Brown. Howie Roseman said, I understand that there is interest in the A.J. Brown story. I unfortunately don't have a home under a rock. Oh, what a funny joke, Howie Roseman. Cut the crap and tell me about the play. Cut the crap and talk to me about the Eagles. He said, but my answer to any question about A.J. is that A.J. Brown is a member of the Eagles. From my perspective, everything you ask me about the situation, I'm going to go right back to that answer. A.J. Brown is a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. This sounds like a guy that wants to trade A.J. Brown so freaking bad. If you're not trading a player, if I'm a GM of a team, let's do this a thought experiment together. Close your eyes. You're the GM of the Eagles, okay? You really, really, really do not want to trade A.J. Brown. A reporter now asks you, hey, are you going to trade A.J. Brown? Your answer is no. That's so dumb. Of course not. He's the best receiver on our team. We're keeping A.J. Brown. End of discussion. That's my answer. Howie Roseman said, I'm not going to talk about it. He said, I'm not going to say a word about it. He said, he's on our team. A.J. Brown is an Eagle. Obviously, this guy wants to trade A.J. Brown. I was in the camp this entire time that they're not going to do it. After hearing this from Howie Roseman, yeah, he's gone. He is absolutely gone, dude. Any normal human answers that question and says, no. Just like Oreo. Thank you, Oreo, for participating in our thought experiment. You are the winner. You've won, you've won 2 farts. The dead cap hit on the Eagles if A.J. Brown gets traded before June 1st is $40 million. So we can just all hold on tight for June 2nd. There will be a moment in the summer where A.J. Brown does get moved by the Eagles. 100% A.J. Brown is getting traded by the Eagles. There's no way Howie Roseman is coming to the media and saying, hey, don't ask me about A.J. Brown. Hey, stop. It's annoying. I don't live under a rock. If you ask me about him, I'm just going to say he's on our team. It's like the most childish thing in the world. I understand not wanting to talk to media if it's like a personal issue. If someone's like, hey, why did you put on 30 pounds this offseason? I'm like, bro, sorry I was depressed. My dog died and I ate my feelings. Like that, I understand not wanting to answer that question. But when someone's like, hey, there's a player on your team that people have said might get traded, are you going to trade him? And then just go, I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to answer it like this. He's on our team. Shut up, idiot. Howie Roseman, I'm done with you. No. Howie Roseman, you're welcome on the show whenever you want. Okay? Hey, yo. To continue on with the NFC East, the Cowboys, and I cannot stress this enough. I hate this team. I don't want to talk about this team at all, but we got to talk about the Cowboys because we're contractually obligated. It's also slightly interesting. The Cowboys right now, Brian Schottenheimer said that he is unsure if George Pickens is going to be with the team this offseason for voluntary workouts. Oh, really? What? You're unsure if George Pickens is going to show up to an involuntary workout? Really? You're unsure about George Pickens' whereabouts and if he's going to show up to a workouts? Seriously? I'm not. I never was. I was never confused by this George Pickens situation. You were like, hey, we don't know if he's going to show up or not. And I'm saying this, he's not. I knew that. I knew that the whole time. Why the Cowboys didn't just ask me, I don't know. What Brian Schottenheimer did say was they want George here long term. He said, we want George Pickens here long term. CXD. Kua. Yeah, Kua XD. Kua. Where did this guy go? Todd Archer. Here we go. Todd Archer was reporting on this story for the Cowboys. Where is it? He said, hey, look, GP loves it here. George Pickens. We love George Pickens. As Isaac Collins hits his first home run of the season for Kansas City, it is now going to be a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th for Kansas City Royals. We have plans for George Pickens to be here for a long time, so we'll let the business side of this thing play out and see where it goes. Liar. Liar, 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 stupid idiot loser. Liar, liar, stupid idiot loser. How can you tell me right now that you believe that George Pickens is going to be there long-term and you want him on your team long-term if you didn't sign him to a long-term deal? Solution number 1. Okay, let's use the scientific, what's it called? Wow. I mean, the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. Like, so confidently, let's use the scientific method, forgot what it was called. Classic. Hey, what's up? I'm Veenie. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. Hey, let's say this. We're playing GM today. We're playing house, you and I. I call being the GM. You want to sign a guy long-term. Do you franchise tag him or do you sign him long-term? Choose your answer in the comments below. I understand what Brian Schottenheimer might want. I understand that Schottenheimer might? Am I that bad? I understand that Brian Schottenheimer might want George Pickens long-term. Hey, it doesn't matter what he has to say, though. It matters what Jerry wants and what Jerry wants to spend money on and who Jerry wants around. Absolutely, Oreo. Well, Pickens is going to be on this thing. Franchise first to save money and then pay him. Yeah. It's what it's going to be. The Cowboys' priority is not signing George Pickens to a long-term deal. The coach wants that guy around for the long term because he's like, yeah, I want the best X and the best O that I have out there. The Cowboys were not interested in signing George Pickens long term this season. I don't know what makes you think they're going to be interested in signing him long term next year. I understand you're like, I want that guy around. I want him on my team. I want that guy, blah, blah, blah. I want him to show up to camp. That dude wants one thing and one thing only. He wants a 4 or 5 year deal. He wants security. He wants guaranteed money. He wants generational wealth. He wants to not have to worry. He wants security and peace of mind. Bro, don't we all? Don't we all? One of the reasons people who are financially unstable have it so rough is the lack of security. They don't know if they're going to be able to buy that thing or if their car breaks down, what they're going to do, or if their rent goes up, it's going to cause a huge spiral of negative events. George Pickens just wants security, and the Cowboys are not going to give it to him. He wants money. He could go play with Scary Terry and JD5. If he wants money. I mean, yeah. He wants security. He wants long-term deals. He signed with Dallas on a 1-year prove-it deal, and boy, did he prove it. Oh, sorry, fellas. Looks like Tony Casillas will not be joining us today. I wish I knew that before I started the show. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers, our final NFL topic today as we close out the Power Hour. We have 2 minutes remaining. Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers are expecting the Aaron Rodgers decision to come before the NFL draft. All signs point to him being the number 1 priority for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been very vocal. They said, we want Aaron. We want him to be our quarterback next year. We want him to play. We don't want him here just to train up some dude. They want him to be their quarterback. And that is 100% a Mike McCarthy thing. I don't think the city of Pittsburgh should be really trying to go out and win games. This football team should be trying to maybe get a good first-round pick next year. Maybe a top 10 pick sounds nice. Something Pittsburgh hasn't had in 8 years, 9 years. Mike McCarthy wants Aaron Rodgers. He played well last year, too. I want to just give him his flowers real quick. He played well. He was able to spin it. Deep ball accuracy was a slight issue, and it was a slight issue just because of how good I've seen him in his career. He was throwing the football really, really well. I just think, in general, this is the wrong move for a team that should be prioritizing high draft picks for next season. I don't think you should tank. I'm not sitting here like you should only win 3 games. You need to tank. You need to have the worst team ever. Because ultimately, they have a very expensive defense. A lot of those guys are returning. They still have studs over there. They have pieces offensively. They're not bad enough to just full-blown tank, but they're not good enough to compete. And Aaron Rodgers doesn't take them over the edge. This team didn't do anything in the offseason where I'm sitting here like, bro, hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're one Aaron Rodgers away from being a Super Bowl contender. No, dude. They're far, far, far from that. They need pieces. They need a quarterback that is a long-term thing. They need a young, youthful arm, and the best place to do that is in the NFL draft. But if they have Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they'll be picking very low. And in this draft, in 2027, the one place you want to be picking is low. OMG, fellas, thank you for watching the Power Hour. We will see you tomorrow.